Thanks first of all to Ryan and Elise for giving me tough acts to follow. Hi everyone, I'm Shelby Kaemmerer and I'm thrilled to be here with all of you. For those who don't know me, I'll give a brief introduction. In my day jobs, I'm Director of Health Pathways for the United Way of Greater Cleveland, and I'm the host of the All Things Green show for One Planet Media, if anyone wants to tune in on YouTube. In my spare time, I'm an avid reader, occasional runner, and aspiring birder, if anyone has any tips. And perhaps most importantly, I'm a Clevelander. But that part is new. You see, I'm the daughter of an Army officer. I've lived in 8 states, 3 countries, averaging 1 to 2 years in each location, and never really putting down roots. My longest hometown was in Austin, Texas, which I lived in for 5 years before my now husband was accepted for his PhD at Kent State University. Congratulations, James. So in the summer of 2021, we packed our 3rd floor apartment in a 103-degree day in Texas, very average, and looked forward to breezes from Lake Erie. There were lots of things I expected about Northeast Ohio. I knew I had to buy a winter coat, both for myself and for my Chihuahua. She's not as into Cleveland as I am. I knew Cleveland's reputation as a gritty Rust Belt city. And I knew I would do just fine adjusting to a new place because, hey, it was only going to be 4 years, and I've always done fine in the past. But then Cleveland surprised me. What I did not expect was to find some of the country's top libraries and metro parks to try and like something called corned beef. I still don't know what it really means for something to be corned, but I would go to Walmart every day. And to go to just one Guardians game and suddenly be a sports fan. Being more of a band kid most of my life, but I have to be honest, it's mostly for Miss Onion, because I love those hot dog races. But the biggest surprise was just how at home I felt here. I think it took about 6 months before I told my husband that if he and I didn't work out, Cleveland and I were in it for the long haul. So I applied this little thing called Bridge Builders because I wanted to really know this place, its people, its history, and what we could make together for its future. I expected lots of dry, informative lectures and maybe some stiff conversation over watered-down professional cocktails, but instead I got the go game. I forgot my medal, but Alan brought it. And suddenly I was really invested in dramatic rap battles with people that I was professionally networking with mere hours before. Embarrassing. Champions for life, team high five. And I got to visit all sorts of neighborhoods that I maybe wouldn't have organically ventured into. Through Bridge Builders, I got the chance to deeply know 60-plus classmates, and I got to meet hundreds of other local leaders who were devoting their lives to this city and this region. And much to my surprise, I have a lot in common with bankers, lawyers, real estate people, neuroscientists, everybody. Throughout our year together, I've been so inspired by every single one of you and your devotion to this community. Austin was a great place to be a grad student and a young professional, and I hear it's wonderful for throwing a bachelorette party. But it's a transient place full of people who are ready to make their mark and then move on to the next best thing. My favorite thing about Cleveland is that when I look around this room, I know I've made connections for life. Some of us may leave Cleveland for professional or personal endeavors, and that's okay, but everyone in this room wants a future for Cleveland, and I'm excited to work for that future together. In our final full session, we were asked to write a 6-word story, and I'm sure I wrote down something that I didn't think much about at the time. But that same day, with hope in my heart and a few painful rejections in the recent past, I put an offer in on a house. And this month, I move into my new home in University Heights with my husband. Yes, Isaac, I'm so sorry, that's not in Cleveland proper. I swear that's in our long-term plans. But it's the first time in my entire life that I've ever moved somewhere that has an end date in mind. And that's in part in thanks to all of you and the welcome and education that you provided me about this incredible city and the Cleveland Leadership Center. So my 6-word bridge builder story is from newcomer to home in Cleveland.